Here's how the conversation unfolded at my recent training session with the team.
And women have a cycle which gets ignored a lot as well.
Yeah.
So it's very saying, men travel along like this with their hormones, and about every 6 months they go, that's about it.
Yeah, apparently it's called IMS. I
Is
just
it?
read it, irritable mood syndrome. But it was just in a magazine, one of those side ones, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. and men do have a cycle, kind of, a dip. It's about every 4 to 6 months. But it's not anywhere near as significant, clearly. Whereas women are constantly, they ovulate, so they're having a little dip, and then a big one, and then a little one, and then a big one, and that's their life. So you can't ignore that. You can't just pretend that it doesn't happen. And it's about him understanding how it affects her and her as well, because our society is set up to ignore the fact that women have kind of been taught to just soldier on and pretend, and you make sure, they've made it so that nobody knows you've got your period and you're just going about life and we're pretending that doesn't happen to us. But it does. We're ready and we're menstruating and we're tired. We've got a headache and, why should we have to do life normally when that's going on? I was going to say something.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about everything that annoyed me all month that I'd just put up with.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just more irritable.
Yeah.
That grating where these things are just becoming intolerable.
Yeah.
And I'd get through it and I'd be like, again, see, it's not such a big deal. It's only a minor irritation that you're not worried about most of the time and you can live with. But when you're like that, it's more, in an ideal world, a woman would be able to go and, chill and pitch a tent in the bush and, hang out there for 5 days and meditate and walk and hug trees and just enjoy the sunrise and the sunset and cook for herself over a stove and just feel great, or just be with other women during the time where she's menstruating. And it's probably what the woman needs in menopause as well. But life isn't set up to cater for that.
Yeah.
When a woman reaches menopause, she needs a lot more reflective time. She needs a lot of time alone. She needs to be able to think about her needs and make sure her needs are being met and nurture her body and support herself during that time. Their needs have changed.
Yeah. And I guess if a woman isn't doing those things, like if she's experiencing menopause and she's not doing that, that could be where they can be in that sort of, I don't know, depressed or down sort of time if they're not nourishing themselves and, doing the things that are going to make a difference to the way they're feeling. Yeah.
So, menopause, which is sometimes called the change of life, is the stage that marks the end of a woman's reproductive life. During menopause, ovulation ceases to occur, as does the production of estrogen and progesterone. When a woman has no periods for 12 consecutive months, she is considered to be postmenopausal. Perimenopausal refers to the time leading up to menopause, when a woman may start experiencing changes in her menstrual periods caused by fluctuations in the production of hormones, including irregularity, a shorter or longer duration, and lighter or heavier flow, as well as increased severity of normal premenstrual symptoms such as sore breasts, fatigue, irritability, stomach aches, cramping, and headaches.
With menopause, it's like, is it like a couple of years sort of thing? Like
It varies.
Years? Yeah.
It varies from person to person. It can be 5-10 years for some people that they go through.
Okay.
And the severity is different too. At the time, the age it can start from 45. It might not start till 55. So some women don't feel it as much as others, and others have been like that, like it was 10 years worth of hot flushes and feeling an up and down and tears and being pregnant's another similar scenario where the hormones are high, where they're a bit more temperamental.
Okay. So the emotions would potentially be very much increased, like in terms of the up sensitivity and that sort of thing, and
and tolerance for, because some women can end up just almost hating their husband during that time. It's like, everything about him just
annoys me.
I see menopause as being a little bit like one of those transitional stages.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're leaving behind the old and heading into that part of life that's about me almost. realised.
Yep.
It's coming out that butterfly, and now it's all about me because my duty as a woman and child rearing and all of those things are all done. And now my hormones are going to stabilise and I can be a bit free.
Yeah.
And just concentrate on what I love and be who I want to be in life and enjoy my grandkids if I've got them and do all this. And it's a really beautiful time of life.
Okay.
So I try and help women to see menopause as that transitional time. And although as a caterpillar going into a cocoon could be very daunting and it's unpleasant in the cocoon, it's about realising that this is a transitional time. It's a time for growth and understanding yourself. So what actually happens hormonally is they're pretty much in PMT all the time.
Yeah.
Once they're in menopause.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the moods are not doing this anymore. They're just crazy all
and
over the place.
And you do get the real physical symptoms, like the hot flushes are real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and headaches and different things that can happen, but it's not going to happen on a regular thing that you can measure.
Yeah.
It will happen erratically.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going through menopause and they've been together for years and her mood is in her mind, or I mean, I only hear half the story. It's all him. He's got the problem. He's got the problem. So cancer and stuff like that, and
wow.
And
she may have been feeling. See, that's really strong reaction. She may have been dissatisfied in the relationship for a long, long time.
Now she's just like,
and again, tolerating it, putting up, being kind, and she's hit this point in her life. And you think about the transition. I know it's a wake up to this part of my life is over, and this is my end of my golden years.
Yeah, well, she's like that.
And do I want to be with this man that I haven't liked for the last 20 years during my golden years? It might be a bit deeper. I feel like it's deeper too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of resentment there and things that she hasn't dealt with. So that's really quite therapeutic, and it's like, this is quite extreme.
Yeah.
So the feelings are probably real, but she might want to actually work with like a naturopath or doctor, depending on what their choices are, around what she can have that supports her through this time, as well as a counsellor to help her work through some of those things therapeutically, because I would say she just hasn't been speaking up.
Yeah.
And now this is hit.
Yeah.
She can't.
But you couldn't put that all down to just menopause, could you? Going through those sorts of things for
no, it might have got worse.
Yeah.
In menopause, but it will have existed already.
Yeah.
That definitely sounds like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, the same as PMT with women, it's not that the issues, they're not making up issues, they're just more temperamental.
Yeah, so it would highlight what was already there and just make that just seem all that much more harder.
Yeah, it's under a magnifying glass, right?
Yeah.
Now it's huge for me.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting.
So, that's a little taste of some of the behind-the-scenes work we do here at More Than Mediocre. Obviously, this clip is by no means a full or complete coverage of such a huge topic, and it was just snipped out of hours and hours of video from our May training day. This was not even the topic of the day, it was just a side issue that came up. What's really important is that women support other women, that men support their women, that families support one another, and that as a society we have these conversations and care for one another in ways that are completely supportive and take into account the needs, values and love that we all need. That's all from us today.